Hello and welcome to another trip report. This time from Nürenberg Hauptbahnhof, so Nuremberg Central Station, main station, to Cheb in the Czech Republic. I planned to take a direct train. I had about 20 minutes time to change trains over here, but I had a delay of 25 minutes, so you guess so. I missed that connection. But there is a good connection where you have to change trains as well, so I will take that train right now. What I'll do in this video, I will show the railway station of Nuremberg. What is quite a pretty railway station. It's not a bad place if you have to change trains and spend some longer time, because there are quite a lot of shops, places where you can grab some food. So it's not a bad place to wait at all. Show the railway station. After that I will show you the trains and explain you a little bit about these trains. And as I planned it to be, I would arrive in Cheb with daylight, but unfortunately, due to the delay, I probably arrive there when it's dark, and I depart tomorrow morning as well when it's dark. So, not really happy with that. I won't see that town with daylight. I'm doing a crazy weekend where I do a lot of trip reports. I'm still a little bit traumatized by COVID, where I couldn't travel. Anyway. The railway station, the trains, explain about the trains and show you some views from the train. This is what I will do in this video. I hope you like it. If you do so, give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more train related videos, subscribe to my channel. I talk way too much. Let's start with this video. Let's roll the intro. Nürenberg Hauptbahnhof, or Nuremberg Central Railway Station. It's a really pretty railway station. Before I will go into the railway station, I discover what you can find around it. Well, only a little bit, because I didn't went into the city at all. At the front there's a parking grass, and it seems like at the other side of the street there were some bus stops. It seemed like the best way to the other side of the street was by taking the underground passage that I will show you in a bit. But for now, let's go into this railway station. And with this entrance, well, it promises to be a good railway station, doesn't it? As you can see over here, there's an underground passage. This will link the central hall of the railway station with the front of the railway station, where you find the old town. And at this point, you also find the entrance to the metro of Nuremberg. In Nuremberg there are a total of 3 metro lines, and all metro lines do call at this railway station. Near the entrance of the metro there are some vending machines for local public transport, so also for the metro. But for me it's time to go up again and go to the central hall of this railway station. Between the entrance to the metro and the central hall there's another level where you find lots of shops. At the central point there's a big screen that will host information about departing trains, and right below that you will find an information point where you can go to ask for information about your route. If you go up at this point, you get in a little bit more quiet area. There are just less people walking around here. And over here you find some places where you can wait, the toilets, but I also saw the DB lounge, so basically the first class lounge. Not all tickets do provide access to the lounge, and if you're only having local train tickets, well, you don't have access at all. For international and long distance train tickets it really depends on what kind of ticket you have. I am traveling in second class anyway, so I can't enter the lounge for sure. Time to go back to the middle of the railway station again at the front. Maps of the railway station can be found at several spots within this railway station, and you also find an awful lot of shops over here. It's not only the railway station what I'm filming here where you find a lot of shops, but it's also the shopping mall that's located right at the front of the railway station at the lower levels. There are quite a lot of fast food places over here, but there are also some healthier options, although there are slightly less of them. As you can see, at another point before you go to the platforms you also find big screens that will host information about departing trains. There are a total of 3 tunnels that will link the central hall to the tracks, and it's also time to go to my train, because it's a big railway station, but I think you get it. Because it was already quite late and my train doesn't have a dining car, I bought some food in a supermarket and went to my platform. My train was leaving completely from the back of the railway station, so I had to walk a bit. From this tunnel, I think was in the middle, there are no escalators or elevators, but I assume that you will find them in other tunnels, because it's quite an important and big railway station. And of course, people with mobility problems should also be able to travel. Before you enter the platform, an information screen will tell you about the route information and what train will depart from that platform, and at the platform itself you also find digital departure screens. And this on the right, that's my train. My train splits along the way, so just make sure you will enter the right train set. For now, let's take a closer look at our train. And these are also the trains that run on the direct route between Nuremberg and Cheb. Cheb is just across the border in the Czech Republic. For a long distance or traveling through the Czech Republic via Germany, this route doesn't make a lot of sense. It's really a local connection. And these are the trains that are being used for these routes. This is the German railway class 612, also called Regio Swinger. It's called Regio Swinger because this is a tilting train. These train sets, so DMU or diesel multiple units, do exist of two carriages that can be combined, and at some spots will be split up, as you can see over here, because this was during my trip. There's a small section of the first class that is clearly written at the side, and there's also an extra yellow line above the windows at the section where you find the first class. At the front and the back, right above the train driver, you will find the final destination and the train number. Because these are tilting trains, these trains are also able to run a bit faster. They can go up to 160 km per hour, what is quite fast for these routes. Remember, these are very rural, local lines, and these are no through connections. For now, let's take a closer look at the interior. I will get back to the first class later on. Between the first class and the normal second class, you will find this special child zone within the second class, and after that you will find the regular second class. At the other end of this train, there is another, I think, like silent compartment in second class. There are also some bigger tables between the seats over here, and the rest of the second class comes in a composition like this. Nothing really special though. In the middle of the train there are some folding seats. You can park bikes here, and this is also the point where you find the toilets. Because these trains only consist of two cars, there's only one toilet over here. These are just commuter trains, so there's not an overwhelming space for luggage. Of course you can store luggage in the overhead luggage racks, and between some back ends of some seats you can also place items. This has also been marked within these trains. There are both airline style or long distance bus seats, but you also find some seats that do face each other. The airline style seats do have a small tray table and a garbage can at the side. Coat hangers can be found right under the luggage rack, and funny enough you also find seat numbers over here, but you can't reserve seats. At the end of each open compartment you will find these LED screens that will host route information, and announcements are made automatically, of course for all stations in German, and for important junctions and railway stations also in English. My overall experience on local trains in Germany is that the first class product is not that much better as the second class. But within these trains, I really found the difference quite big. I really like the first class in these trains. There were power plugs, you find a nice tray table that's quite big in the seat in front of you, you have reading lights, you can recline the seats, you have more leg space, and the seats are just more comfortable. Just like the second class, the first class also comes in a 2x2 configuration, so 2 seats on both sides of the aisle. And of course, everything I mentioned in the second class, you will also find it over here. This map shows the route that I'm taking today, from Nuremberg in Germany to Cheb in the Czech Republic. You find direct trains, mainly at daytime, that run every 2 hours, and every other hour you have to change trains in Marktredwitz and change to a local train that will go via Cheb in the Czech Republic to Hof in Germany. It's a really silly route. It's way faster to take a direct train. The total travel time between Nuremberg and Cheb is about 1 hour and 45 minutes if you take the direct local express train, and 1 hour and 55 minutes if you change trains in Marktredwitz. At night the services are very limited between Marktredwitz and Cheb. So at night this is not the best connection, and I experienced this. Something silly happened, but I will tell you later on in the video. For now, I will show you some views between Nürenberg Hauptbahnhof and Marktredwitz from the train. Hello from Marktredwitz, not far away from the border with the Czech Republic. So future editing me will take over this tiny bit of the video. Something embarrassing happened when I arrived in Marktredwitz. I was really focusing on recording, I was not really fast. But at the moment the train arrived, stood still, I just put on my bag, jacket and bag and left the train. At least I attempt to leave the train. But at the moment I was at the door already closed. There was a small delay, so the train driver, I think he just wanted to leave as soon as possible. It was only 2 or 3 minutes delay, so it's really not even worth mentioning. Because all connection will be made, so that's no problem. But yeah, I just went there and the door closed already. I have to admit, I was not really fast. So I think I'm the one to blame. But this also happened really quick. I still think I'm the one to blame. So yeah, but still it was quite embarrassing. The train driver left really quick. I'm just wondering, do you have any embarrassing moments when traveling by train or any other kind of transportation? Just let me know in the comments so I feel I'm not the only one. But even if you're, well, a kind of an experienced traveler, at least if I consider myself as an experienced traveler, these things might happen. So I stayed on the train, went to Hove directly. It's about 25 minutes. So from Hove you also find trains into the Czech Republic. But this is quite a rural area. It's not a big city area. So the number of trains is not that high, and especially not a little bit later at night. This here is the timetable on the Marktredwitz to Cheb section. These are the local trains that will start in Nuremberg and will go to Cheb, but also the local trains that make this crazy route from Marktredwitz to Hove via Cheb. That will take 1.5 hours. If you do this directly, it's 25 minutes. And there's somewhere in the morning there's a gap of about 2 hours that there are no trains, and in the evening about 3 hours. Well, at least there is a late train, what makes it really, well, understandable that there's a kind of a gap, because if you miss something, you can at least get there. So I took that train, but I had to wait for, well, traveling to Hove and back, I had to wait for about 2 hours at the railway station of Marktredwitz, because this was the most obvious connection. From Hove you also find trains to Cheb. But anyway, I had to wait for about 2 hours there. And this is not a wow station. There is a shop, you can wait inside, but it's a small town. I was quite grumpy at that moment, so I didn't went into the town. But yeah, this embarrassing thing happens. Yeah, for now I will just continue with the video. But since I've spent almost 2 hours at the railway station of Marktredwitz, I will show you a little bit of this railway station as well. There's a tunnel that will link the tracks with each other, and you find of course stairs. But there's also an elevator that will link the platforms with each other. A little bit more towards the front you will find a waiting room, as you can see over here. And within this place you find a vending machine, a ticket booking hall and a shop. That's it. Apart from that, there are some vending machines at the platform where you can buy some snacks and drinks. I was really pleased they were there, by the way. And this is my next, well, train, I guess, to Cheb. It's a railway bus, so it's actually a bus on a track. But it does what it needs, moving people on shorter distances. Within this train there's a small vending machine for train tickets, and the train comes in general in a 3x2 configuration. It's one class only, and near the vending machine you also find a toilet. This is really a commuter train, so don't expect an overwhelming space for your luggage. A lot of stops on this line are stops on request, therefore you find special stop buttons in this train to obviously request stops in these smaller towns. Some information folders can be found here as well within this train. Approximately every 2 hours you find these trains that do have a lot of stops on request and are really the local trains that make this crazy half circle between Hove and Marktredwitz. And every other 2 hours at daytime you will find the faster trains that will continue to Nuremberg and are like the trains I showed you first. Apart from the train type I just showed you, you also find these train types, as you can see over here on this route. They are slightly bigger and these are no railway buses anymore. From Cheb I took a Super City Pendolino train This is a faster intercity within the Czech Republic to Prague, and there will be a video where I'll be featuring the railway station of Cheb as well. For that video, stay tuned to my channel, and otherwise you can find it already on my YouTube channel. So that's it for this video. Whoa, I also want to show you things don't go that smooth, and that was the case over here. Anyway, I hope you had fun for this video. If you had, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more train related videos, subscribe to my channel. Right now I'm walking to the railway station again to catch the Pendolino intercity from Cheb to Prague. Actually, it's really early, but this town looks rather cute. But I really wanted to take the Pendolino train from here. I'll tell you more about that in the other video. Once again, I hope you liked it. If you do so, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more train related videos, subscribe to my channel. And if you really like it, don't forget to hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload new videos. And see you on my next video. Bye! Before I really end this video, if you're interested in other trip reports I did, below the description of this video on YouTube, you find a link to a map. And on this map you find all trip reports I did. The lines do indicate the routes, and the train and ferry icons do indicate the station and ferry terminal reviews. Since I'm making more videos, there will be more lines added to this, of course. Once again, thanks for watching and see you on my next video.